Hello friends, today I'm going to be talking about 3 questions you should never ask a foster parent or their foster children and what you might say instead if you're curious. It's kind of a lot more than 3 questions and I'm lumping them into 3 categories, so you'll get a lot more value for this video. Okay, let's dive in. The first question I don't want anyone to ever ask a foster parent or a foster child is, are you their real mom? Are those your real kids? I'm a very peaceful person, but when people have asked me that, I have some crazy powerful feelings. Because first of all, it's rude. Yes, we're real. We're right in front of you. We're not imaginary. And yes, this is what I've signed up for. I am their real mom. I am the one that's here with them and loving them with my whole heart and giving them all of my time and energy and wiping away their real tears when they wake up from real nightmares in the night and carrying them through and experiencing with them real trauma and trying to get to the grocery store to get some real snacks for them. And oh man, especially if the children look different than I do. I've had children who are Asian and Latino and African American and Caucasian. If they look different than I do, there's so much tension in even just going to the store because they can sense, they feel. You wouldn't believe it. You can just feel the people asking questions as you walk through the store. And it triggers them. Even asking questions with their eyes, even if they haven't said anything yet, it triggers them. So I have had so many children shut down or fall apart in the store because they can just feel their story on display. And their story needs to be their story, not yours and not mine to tell. It's their story. And it's a scary story, and it's a hard story, and they will share it with the people that they want to share it with when they want to share it. So when a stranger comes and asks, are those your real kids? Or maybe they're saying, are those your foster kids? Are those adopted kids? Are those your birth kids? They might even say that, are those your biological kids? It's none of your business whether they're my kids or not. If you don't know whether they're my kids or not, then don't ask. What you could say instead is you could smile at us with gentle, peaceful, encouraging eyes and say, you have a beautiful family. Then I feel seen, my kids feel beautiful. We can go on. Or you don't have to say anything at all. You can just smile at us. But if you do need to say something, say, you have a beautiful family. I remember one person said that to me, and I could tell that they were an adoptive family too, just by the way she said it. I felt so heard and seen and understood and acknowledged, and I just started crying in the store just from the joy of being loved. A complete stranger, and she understood my tears as well, so it was okay. Also, don't ask about their race. I've had people say, man, is your husband a black man? And I said, ooh, my husband, he's amazing. And just left them thinking and wondering about what I meant by that, because it's none of their business. Like, the union between my husband and I, and how we made all these different colors of kids is none of their business at all. So don't ask that. If you are genuinely interested in adoption and foster care, and that's what's prompting you to come and interact with us, you probably shouldn't just come to some random person on the street or in the store. But if you're getting to know me and you might have heard that I'm a foster mom or something, and you're interested in that, then just say, man, I would love to get to know you, or I would love to hear your story sometime. I'm interested in your journey. That kind of thing would be really encouraging and sweet, and I love to talk about it when I'm one-on-one with you and not in front of the kids. And I'm not going to share their story because their story is theirs. They can share it when they want to. The second category of questions is don't ask questions that are about their past. Kids are worse at this than adults. And so I'm going to do a whole nother video of how I've taught my students how to be kind to my children. Also, many of my children, the children that I have with me in my home right now, have different kinds of special needs. And so I've made a lesson in my classroom about, I know you want to be kind to my children, and I know you have some curiosity and some questions. I'm going to teach you how to be kind because I know you want to be kind and not rude. So I'm going to teach you how. The gist of that is ask questions that help them feel connected to you rather than different from you. So, but adults sometimes ask questions about their past and they're not trying to be hurtful. They just don't know what to say and they're trying to make small talk. Like, where are you from? Where are you from? Brings up a whole bunch of hurt. And how was your summer? That might bring up a whole bunch of hurt. Or sometimes in school, like a writing prompt, like tell me one thing that you've been really scared of, or tell me about your, like a family tree or family history. Like those kind of things can be really triggering, and they don't want to be forced to share their story. That's their story to tell when they want to tell it. Don't ask things like, ooh, what brings you here? A kid sometimes will be like, is your birth mom still alive? Or is your birth mom in jail? Or did something really bad happen? And we have to train kids not to ask questions that might make somebody feel triggered. We need to train kids to ask questions that help kids feel connected, help the other child feel connected to them rather than feel different or in the spotlight or on display or in some way scared or escalated by the question. So instead, ask questions that are really simple and really like present moment and really, what do you love to do? What are you looking forward to this year? What do you like to play Minecraft? Do you like Legos? What video games do you like? What movies do you like? That kind of thing, to make connections with them. And then if you are close with them, just show them that you care and that you're kind. And then in their own time, in their own space, when they want to, if they're ready, ever, then they will share their story later. It is their story, not yours. One thing I have heard, I don't know how many times, maybe hundreds of times, almost any time anybody finds out that I'm a foster parent, they have said, oh, I could never do that. I would get too attached. And I have learned to say, wow, that maybe you'd be great at it, because that is exactly the point. That's the point of fostering, is to get attached. They deserve to have somebody that's attached to them, that's all wrapped up in them and loves them wholeheartedly and communicates that they're precious and dearly loved, that communicates that they are worth being there for. And when that foster child leaves to go back to their birth family, they deserve to have somebody fall apart and cry when they leave, because they haven't had it, right? Every child deserves to be told that they're loved, be shown that they're loved, have that be felt and demonstrated for real, not pretend. And if you feel like, ooh, I could never do that because I'd get too attached, then maybe you're the right person for the job of fostering, because that is exactly what we're supposed to do, is get attached. And yes, of course, it breaks my heart when they leave, when they go home. Of course. But that's the point. To have someone love them and they know someone loves them is restorative and healing for them. And if my heart is broken, I can handle that. If they go for 3 years without somebody loving them, they can't handle it. You know, they're not going to recover. My heart's broken. The grief is worthwhile because they were loved. I'm not sure if I'll ever recover or get over it. I won't be the same person that I was before, but that's probably a good thing. But all of the grief that I feel is worthwhile because the child was loved and knew that they were loved and knew it without a shadow of a doubt. So if you say, "Oh, I couldn't do that, I'd get too attached," then maybe you should do it. Maybe that's you're exactly the right kind of person to do it, because these children need to be loved and they need to be attached. That's the point. Attachment is the point. What you could say instead is, "I'm grateful that you're doing this and I want to help you in this, and how can I help you? How can I be with you and be a true friend to you in this journey? How can I pray for you? I will be praying for you." And then really pray and really help, really be there. One of the things that has just been a blessing to us is the Memphis Family Connection Center offers counseling to families and offers different kinds of services like OT and PT and art therapy and all that cool stuff. But they also help bring Christmas presents to, I think, thousands of foster children in Memphis, and have a big Christmas party for the foster children and their families. And then different churches and small groups will sponsor a child and be praying for them for months ahead of time, and they pick out gifts that the child might be interested in and fill this big red tub full of gifts. It was so emotionally helpful. I felt so much solidarity that I wasn't alone in this, and that there were people that had been praying for my beautiful kids. Don't stay away from a foster family just because you don't know what to say. Please come together and encourage the foster families that you know. Please say, "How can I help? Want to be with you in this journey." And then be there. That would be really an amazing encouragement. Don't be distant because you're not sure what to say with the foster family, or, "Oh, that's a little tricky. I don't know if I want to be around if it's all emotional or whatever at their house. It's a little messy at their house. It's a little wild at their house." Please be there. Please offer your time and your friendship and your energy to help, because being a foster parent actually feels a little isolating sometimes. So it really helps to know that you have close friends that you are together with. We went to a church where there were lots of other foster families, and so people could speak our language and understand our hearts and love our kids well without being like scared of getting attached to them. They got attached to them. They knew them and played with them and loved them well and cried when they left. So that was part of how to get through the grief, was to have that people alongside of me. Don't stay away because you're nervous. Please offer your friendship and be there with them in the journey. That will be very encouraging. So if you've gotten through this and you haven't said any of these things to someone who is fostering, then cheers to you, and you're well on your way to being socially acceptable, or whatever the word is. But if you have said some of these things, don't feel guilty. Just learn from this, and now you might have some ideas on how to move forward in a way that would be more encouraging to the people that you love. Thanks. Bye-bye.